I will record the camera. Okay, so in today's class, we are going to talk about movies. Why movies? Because movies are fun. Movies are really interesting. Actually, it helps us to know many things, to increase our knowledge, and to learn new experiences, ¿no? Cuando hablamos de películas, nos ayuda a nosotros a qué? Bueno, más que todo ver película por diversión, por distracción, también se dice y hay investigaciones científicas que al ver una película es como si estuviéramos teniendo más experiencias, más vistas con diferentes perspectivas y nos ayuda a incrementar parte de nuestro conocimiento siempre y cuando lo veamos de un lado un poquito crítico, sin dejar de lado, ¿no?, lo que es divertido o lo que es interesante. So, movies are really interesting at any moment. If you want to practice your pronunciation or you want to practice your listening skills or you want to know or have different vocabulary, watching movies, it's a great option to increase any language. In this case, or if you want to learn, I don't know, Dutch, French, or other languages, you can also watch any movie according to the language you are interested on, okay? So, it says, where do you like to watch movies? So in this case, we're going to see different places in which we see movies, okay? So, that's the first question for any of you. Where do you like to watch movies? You prefer in a movie theater, on TV at home, on one of my devices at home, like a tablet, laptop, maybe, on one of my devices while I'm on the go. So, where do you like to watch movies? Explain your reasons. You can say, I like to watch movies on TV at home, but why? Carla Trigo, please.
Well, in my case, I like to watch movies in a movie theater because for me it's more exciting, especially when you're seeing a movie that uh, uh, go go out in the same day, and also because in horror movies you can feel better the essential of the movie. So that's
Excellent. Thank you, Carla. Yes, that's right. When we are in a movie theater, it has different elements, such as being the surrounding, what also can be, in this case, that you are with different people who are also interested on watch that movie or a specific movie. I remember once when we go to watch the ones that was more popular in the time, Avengers, in a movie theater, it was a really different experience to see it again on a TV at home because all of them were like speculating what is going on. Some of them were saying some false spoilers. Some of them were really excited, and environment was really grateful and really funny as well. Thank you so much, Carla. Cecilia, please tell me, where do you like to watch movies?
And I like watch movies in my device at home, like a tablet. But in case of movies nominate Oscar or very special, I prefer movie in theaters.
Okay, perfect, Cecilia. So you prefer is depending of what is, I don't know, maybe to say worth to see it, like they tell you it has really good scenarios, it has really, I don't know, really comments about that movie. So you prefer in a movie theater. Excellent. And in my devices. It's really curious to see in devices at home. When you are alone, it's really more easy to see it. And what about maybe someone watch a movie on one device while you are while you are going to some places? I don't know if it is okay, this one in our context, or we can do it in our context, but maybe for traveling. Do you prefer in that case? This one. I think it's more the initial, because I don't, but maybe some of you, yes or not. On one of my devices while I'm on the go. No? Carla, please.
Yeah, I don't like it because for me it's uncomfortable.
Yes, of course it's uncomfortable, I think. Liz, please.
In my case, I like to watch movies on TV at home. I think now we have many options to watch movies. For example, Netflix, Amazon, etc. And these options nos dan puntajes de las películas para que podamos tal vez elegir, ¿no? Eso me gusta. And I prefer to watch movies on TV at home.
Yes, I think these both are the most comfortable, even this one, because these both are at home and this one is a movie theater. But I think in our context, in some contexts can be different, but even in our context can be dangerous. It can distract us from where we are going to. And also, if we are traveling, also the battery maybe, because some buses do not have the equipment of to have charging with energy of your cell phone. So this kind of difficult. Okay, so excellent. So this is ones we prefer in where do we like to watch movies, okay? Movie theater, on a TV at home, on one of my devices, at home devices, cell phone, laptop, tablet, and other ones that do not include to be at TV, okay? One of my devices while I'm on the go, okay? This is very common for some places, it can be dangerous knowing that in public statements, you cannot only have your cell phone because you can get robbed some of your devices, so it's dangerous. So let's see here. It says movie genre. As we know, yes, we already seen in different places what is a movie. I'm pretty sure some of you have its own differences, preferences as well on which genre do you like about any movie. It can depend. I don't know. Some, in my cases, my dad is the always person who saw like this kind of movies. So that's why my interests go in that way. So let's see it. Movies genres, in this case, refers to the type of movie we saw. It depends the content of each movie. ¿Cuál es el contenido de cada película? So it says, write the name of a movie for each genre. You will do it by chat. Crystal, don't worry, it's okay. It's okay. But at least you can write by the Zoom. If it is needed to participate, you can do it. Okay? Si puedes escribir por Zoom cuando es momento de participar, lo puedes hacer, no te preocupes. So, here it said, then choose your 3 favorite genres. We are going to do it later on. It says, did you know while movie and film have the same meaning, speakers of American English use movie much more frequently? Yes, in this case, when some people are, I don't know, it has different popularity in some places. For example, some places are well known because they have really great action movies. So that's why most film companies invest on that kind of projects. And also it has to be innovative of people attention. So here we have these different genres. Of course, we have many, but this is the most common we can. We have the action movies, the ones in which there are different type of actionaries, different types of really interesting missions, like something like that. Horror movies, the ones that makes people to be afraid or scared. A science fiction movie, the ones that are not real, but are more fictionaries, more focused. An animated movie, the ones that are like cartoons, okay, but this is not serious, it's like a movie. Comedy, the ones that are more foolish one. A drama, the ones that sometimes is sad, sometimes can be really, really weight in this case. A musical in which most moments the persons are singing, and documentary in which they document different types of topics like wars, like nature, like survivors, like even focus on a biography of different people who do something important in our history. So here I would like to know, all of you, you can write. If you like action movie, mention the movie you like about action movie. Horror movie, mention the name of the movie in this case, okay? That is related with the movie genres. For example, I can mention horror movie. In my case, can be, I don't know. Which is, I don't think I like horror movies, but I don't remember much names. Science fiction, for example. Star Wars. I really love Star Wars. So, in that case, you choose the genre, and then you mention a name of the movie you like. No? Three mentions, okay? You are going to write down in the Zoom chat. Or for example, if I like a musical, I like musicals a lot. Musical, in this case. Also, opera and Hamilton. So, in that case, please write your examples. If you have many, you can mention it. Okay, for everyone. Todos mencionen, escriban en el chat el género primero, 2 puntos, y el nombre de la película. So, let's do it. Let's work on it. Okay, horror movie, The Conjuring. Yes. The Noon. Yes, I know it. I know now I'm remember some movies. Mamma Mia, excellent. Animated movie. That's awesome. And then I was crying when I saw that movie because there is not any word. There is no words. There is not a kind of word by word communication. That's what's more feeling to the person to know how it's going on, different actions in that movie. And for me, was sad and really grateful, but it's depending. Animated movie, Shark. Yes, I think that's most of us childhood. Animated movie, Blue. Yes, documentary, Animal Planet, musical, High School. Oh, Animal Planet. Yes, some movies like Marines from the Sea. That's really interesting. Drama, La Vida es Bella. That's really sad. It's a really sad movie. Science fiction movie, The Maze Runner. Yes. Comedy, Forrest Gump. Yes. I also, it's like eclectic, ¿no? Ecléctico es cuando se mezclan dos para formar uno, ¿no? Por ejemplo, Forrest Gump, it can say comedy. Yes, it is. It has drama. Yes, it has. And also, it can be yes, Drama, sad movie as well. Musical La La Land. Yes, as well as a kind of sad. Horror Hereditary, animated movie Flow, horror movie Apartment 7. I don't see it. I didn't see it, but I will see it. I love seeing movies. Science fiction Mad Max, yes. Horror movie Terrifier. I I recommend some people to watch Terrifier, but they were not agree with me. Like, that's not horror movie. That's a really psychotic movies. Action Avengers. Yes, horror de Conjuro. Dune, animated El Castillo Ambulante. Yes, that's so beautiful. Eric Brockovin, Glee, Tune documentary, My Friend the Pope. Action Werewolf City, Mary Poppins. Yes, excellent. So I could see that most of us has different interests about any movie genre, so that's okay. Even though there is here in English a platform that calls English Flicks, in which you can see different parts of movie and it has different subtitles so you can practice your pronunciation, like shadowing. Shadowing is, I will write it down. If you want to share maybe any technique with shadowing. Shadow significa sombra. But what is shadowing? Shadowing is when in the movie people are talking and you are repeating at the same rhythm the people are talking, ¿ok? Es cuando en la película están repitiendo diferentes frames, así que tú repites en la misma con la persona, en la misma sintonías y con la misma pronunciación. So shadowing is one of the most important, we can say, method to increase listening, pronunciation, and vocabulary as well, because you deal with different words that you don't know. So if you like, you can share different videos for shadowing, even on TikTok. I will try to send to you on your WhatsApp groups, and if you want, you can do it. There are different shadowings, like talks in seminars, like you have to have the role of any person, and you only have to repeat as the person is saying, ¿ok? Es cuando estás cantando una música con la letra, la persona está hablando y tú repites lo mismo que habla en el mismo tiempo. So that's shadowing, and this is a really good technique to improve listening, pronunciation, articulation as well, and to practice the muscle, okay? To practice the muscle. So here we are going to learn how we can do the pronunciation part in these ones. How is it? It's an action movie, means acción, action, horror movie. Don't forget that the R in English, it's different than in Spanish. La R es muy diferente en la pronunciación del inglés. A science fiction movie, an animated movie, a comedy, a drama, a musical, and a documentary. So please, give me a second. I will see. Oh, okay.
An action movie.
Yes. So let's listen, and you will repeat. You will repeat.
An action movie.
Make sure.
A horror movie.
A horror movie.
A science
Horror
fiction movie.
Science
A
fiction
science
movie.
fiction
An
movie.
animated movie.
An
An
animated
animated
comedy.
movie.
comedy.
A drama.
Comedy. A drama.
A musical.
A musical.
A documentary.
A documentary.
So, as you could see, in different words, it has their own intonation, okay? An action movie. An action movie. It starts with action movie. A horror movie. A horror movie. A science fiction movie. This is a compound word, una palabra compuesta con mi signo auxiliar, que es el guión. Compound word. Science fiction movie. An animated movie. A comedy. A comedy. La mayor entonación se cae en la M. A comedy. A drama. A musical. A documentary. A documentary. Okay? So please Any volunteer who would like to read all of these words? Because we are going to have different activities today. This topic it has different content. So please, Carla.
Okay, an action movie, a horror movie, a science fiction movie, an animated movie, a comedy, a drama, a musical, and a documentary.
Excellent. Thank you. What about Carlos? Carlos Artur.
Other movie.
Okay, so
¿Tengo que nombrarlos? ¿Los que conozco?
no. You don't paying attention. Okay. Tienes que pronunciar. Solo repete. An action movie, a horror movie, and so on.
Okay. An action movie, a horror movie, a science fiction movie, a animated movie, a comedy, a drama, a musical, y a documentary.
Excellent. Perfect. So, don't forget these words. That will be really important later on. Okay, van a ser muy importante más tarde. This part where we are going to do it for oral different statements. What we have, porque tienen una forma más adelante. Más adelante, okay? So, here we are going to see different conversation tips in which it says, read and listen to a conversation in restaurants and notice the features, words, and phrases. What are features in this case? Different ones that in this case are words, but in some cases are using like in expressions and not literally like it says, okay? Some of them like expression like what the heck and what it's the what else? A word treat, we insist. So let's listen the conversation and you follow by the reading. So let's listen.
I wonder where Elena and Jim are. It's already after 6.
Maybe we should go ahead and order.
Let's wait a bit. Hey, do you want to go to a movie after?
Actually, I'd rather not. I'm beat. I've been up since 5.
Okay, then let's just go back home and stream something from PicFlix, okay?
I'm fine with that. I wouldn't mind seeing a good sci-fi movie.
Hey, what about this one? I've heard A Star is Born is great. It stars Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Sorry, you know I can't stand love stories.
Then how about Home Alone? It's pretty old, but it's a classic.
Home Alone? I've seen it like 1,000,000 times. But what the heck? It's really funny, and I could use a good laugh. Hey, there they are. Later. So we're going back to our place to watch Home Alone. Want to join us?
I love that movie. Elena?
Sounds like fun. Listen, let us get the bill this time. Our treat.
Elena, that's really not necessary.
We insist. You paid last time.
Okay then. Thanks. We'll go on ahead and get the coffee going.
Okay, so let's see each one of this vocabulary and something to be noticed, algo que tenemos que observar. In these cases, some words as in native speaker in American English can be shortened. It's because of the economy of linguistic area, okay? What is economy? In which we don't have to mention too much the word, but we mention the essential parts of the word. It's not like abbreviation. No, it's not like that. It's only to say it's short, some words, because it doesn't follow the abbreviation rules. It must be a dot, but in this case, are some places, in some places, they speak like really shortened the words. Even some words, they continue with other words, like it will be like a compounded word. But, okay, so here we have, I'd rather not, I'm bad, it's a classic, what the heck, I could use a good laugh, our truth, and we insist. So here we have. Oh. In order you can notice the intonation, maybe yes, maybe not. Kyle and Max use the American English in standard. The standard is the ones that most people there in United States talk. Jim, American English, regional, okay, that is in different specific parts of American. And Elena is Spanish, so she speaks with different intonation about English. And that's okay because it has. So let's understand from the context. Find the feature word or phrase in summing for each meaning. So let's see. We have I could use, a good love, and beat, it's a classic, our threat, we insist, and what the heck. So here we have the meaning of each of these. What do you understand? Number one, an expression you use when you'd like to see something funny. Which do you think will be? Liz, please.
I could use a good laugh, maybe.
Okay. Excellent. I could use a good laugh. Perfect. Number two, you offer to pay the bill. Cristel, please.
You offer the pay the bill or treat?
Excellent. Our three. Cristel. No, you say Cristel. Number three, you are not sure you want to do something, but you decide to do it anyway. So, which will be? Bet, it's a classic, we insist, or what the heck? Which one? You are not sure you want to do something, but you decided to do it anyway. So, number three, which will be the correct? Carla, please.
I think what the heck.
What the heck? So, let's see. Excellent. What the heck? Number four, you want to emphasize your willingness to pay. Your willingness to pay. Cristel?
We insist.
Okay. Excellent. We insist. Number five, you are really tired. You are really tired. Laura, please.
Ambit.
Ambit. Excellent. Ambit. And Betsabe, the last one. You describe an old movie that people still love today.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. Excellent. So look at this. If you want, you can take a screenshot or maybe you're writing in your books and that's okay. So what we can emphasize here, different words that has different meaning at the moment you are using in different contexts. For example, ambit, if you search the word bit, okay? But in this case, it also means when I'm saying ambit, like an adjective, ambit, is like you're referring, you are really tired. Not only tired, you are really tired, okay? What else can I say? In the what the heck. What the heck is very common used phrase in which they express when they are not sure of something, but they decide to do it anyway, okay? It's like a willingness, you want to do it something, but you don't want it, but you can do it and you need to do it, okay? So take this vocabulary into account because it's really important. When we talk in English or we are starting to talk in English, we have different methods. For example, one of them is when the students talk and sometimes we have muletillas, okay? When we say, you like to see, okay? But in English, you can use different of these phrases in order to cover up that moment you need to think, okay? For example, we use like right, just a moment, just a second, let me think, besides to see, okay? So that's something important when we talk, when we are having a speaking. Like, don't say the person, and the other person is going to interrupt us. But besides that, you can say, give me a second, let me think, no, let me think. And in that moment, you are more refreshing because the person is giving you the place to think, giving you the place to be more patient. Even though you can say in to America, and that's not bad. You can say that, I'm sorry, I'm learning English. I'm in a V1 or a V2, and for me it's difficult to understand the rhythm you are going to. And that's pretty good. Communication is everything here. So let's see. When this one, no, we are going to do later on. We have formula forms. You are going to fill it up with different speaking activities, okay? So here we have another speaking in which it says pair work. Discuss your favorite and least. Favorite and the least movie genre. Explain your reasons. For example, it says, I can't stand horror movies. I can't stand horror movies. They are too scary for me. It's not like this person do not like. It's like that person, even though she wanted to watch a horror movie, she cannot continue with that because here or for this person are or is really scared. So the other person answer, really? And you give your opinion. I think they are a lot of fun. They are just entertainment. So that's you're going to do it. In this case, I will choose roles and you will do it. So, please, you will say letter A. You can change, puedes cambiar el género y puedes decir la expresión. Tú puedes decir que tal vez they are really funny to me, they are really interesting to me, they are amazing, o they are boring. Ok, puedes poner todos esos adjetivos que tenemos. Mejor se añades la información que todos conocemos, la personal, ok? And Cecilia, please, you will answer what Liz is going to say. Like this one, you can say, really, I think they are a lot of fun. También estoy segura que en anteriores módulos han pasado lo que es neither do I, ¿no? Neither do I, que es como dar por ejemplo, si la persona dice, I really love animation movies. They are so beautiful. So, if you also feel that, si también tienes ese mismo gusto, you can say, neither do I, or me too, también, ¿no? So, let's start, please. Liz and Cecilia.
Okay, teacher. In my case, I can't stand a musical movies. I think, or because I get a little bored for me, and me distraigo. Me distraigo.
Okay.
Oh, really? I think they are a lot of fun because it's like a karaoke and I enjoy it and my friends enjoy it like too.
Excellent. So, if you want to say que te distraes como tal, you can say, I get distracted. I get distracted. Okay? And then, yes, that's right. Some people don't like musical, and that's okay. Any other person? Two more people. Dailin and Estrella. Dailin and Estrella. Dailin, you will be letter A. And Estrella, you will be letter B. Cambien esta parte. Ah, claro, y si tienen lo mismo, pero preferiblemente que lo cambien. Okay?
Okay, letter A, right? Did you?
Yes.
I can stand musical movies because they are very repetitive and boring for me.
Okay, so Estrella, what do you think?
Really? Neither do I. Yeah. I like ciencia ficción movies. Yeah.
Okay, you can say, I like science fiction movie because it's interesting or because it's catching, okay? Puedes decir, I like science fiction movie because, y en ahí puedes poner, uno puedes decir interesting, porque son interesantes, o catching, que en este caso son muy rápidos de ver, ¿no? Al ser interesante, te llama rápido la atención, ¿ok? Eso es catching. Excellent. So, don't forget this vocabulary. Hay muchos más. These are not the only ones. When we talk about movie, it's really huge word. It's like to talk about the genres and the types of books that exist. Some of them share the same, but we cannot classify. Some of them can be a drama, but at the same time have different places of comedy, like La vida es bella or Life is beautiful, because it has its own drama, because it's talking about a war, and comedy as well because of how they act. I don't know, in the movie, they want to catch up your attention, they want to make it funny, they want you really love the characters, but at the end, they kill them. Okay, well, so that's movies. Here we have another. This, maybe you're saying we are talking about movie and no explanation to being late. Usually, when we go out with our friends to watch movie, we have to be honest. Not all, or maybe can be exceptions. All our friends, or even maybe us, can be on time, can be punctual. Okay, so in this case, we are going to have different vocabularies of explanation for being late. So, for instance, the next glance, if someone is going to be late, you are going to tell me what happened, okay? I'm a really empathic. If you oversleep, that's okay because you were tired. And I don't have to say it but you need to know that we have glasses. No, because it's human body. We have to understand the nature of how we are. If I say, I don't know, anyone, you oversleep, but you must be here 9 a.m., you know it. But considering that I have the result to stress my students, that's what I don't want to. So let's see your explanation. We have to say it, why we were or why we are late in some places. If we have a date, if we have a meeting, if we have classes, etc., etc. Okay, so let's see. Here we have I oversleep. So what will be maybe some translations we have of oversleep? ¿Qué entienden acerca de oversleep?
¿Tarde? ¿Levantarse tarde?
Oh, yes, levantarse tarde can be, but it has its own meaning like quedarse dormida, okay? Quedarse dormida. So this is very frequent and common ones that most people are late. Other one, I missed the bus or the train, the plane, the teleférico, the cable car, I'm sorry. So I missed the bus. What do we understand with this? Liz, please.
Perder el bus.
Yes, excellent. Like, this is really common in some places. In our cases, it can be some traffic jam, okay, el tráfico por las horas picos. But in some places, as mentioned before, for example, in United States, you can have two options, like bus, taxi, and subways, okay? But it will depend. If you lost the subway because they have different schedules to be in the station, so you have to be in that station. If not, you have to wait like half an hour. And also it's with the bus. You have there the bus station and you are waiting there to the bus to pass. But if you, I don't know, maybe oversleep and then you go and it was there, the bus, and you were running and the bus, bye-bye, okay? So that's what we say, miss the bus, miss the bus. Como que no pudieron alcanzar al bus, como pasan aquí en el Pumacatari. No sé si alguno de ustedes ha viajado, no viajado, tomado el Pumacatari. It has its own schedule, okay? So, Betsabe, please help me with this. I couldn't get a taxi. I couldn't get a taxi.
No poder tomar un taxi.
Excellent. No pude tomar un taxi. Some taxis are full. They have already clients. Algunos taxis ya tienen sus clientes. Ya están llenos. So in that cases, we cannot say like, stop, and the taxis ignore us because it already has its own client. Excellent. I couldn't find parking. I couldn't find parking. What do you think? Alejandro, please.
No pude encontrar el parqueo.
Yes, excellent. This is other common as in American. In United States, many people has their own car. It's most accessible in some places as well. But to find parking is really difficult as many people have their own car. So parkings are, so you cannot go to your, I don't know, you cannot go to your work or any place you are going to because the parking are full. El parqueo está llenísimo. Así que en esos casos tienes que buscar dónde parquear tu auto. A veces otros se molestan mucho y eso es irritante porque el parqueo está muy lejos del destino donde quería estar. Así que era como que dejar su auto muy lejos y volver a tomar tal vez un taxi. So it's really conflict. It depends on where you are going to. I got stuck in traffic. This means. ¿Qué significa? Please.
Quedarse atascado en el tráfico.
Yes. Quedarse atascado, ¿no? This is very common in our context, I think, especially here, for example, in La Paz, when it's in the morning, middle name, 3 to 4 p.m. and 7 to 8 or 9 a.m. The traffic is really crowded, muy lleno. So we got stuck in traffic. Sometimes you can be there like an hour, like half an hour maybe as well, but it's really confusing. So oversleep, I missed the bus. Of course, here you can change it depending on the context. I miss, I don't know, the train, I miss the plane, etc., etc. I couldn't get a taxi. I couldn't find parking. I got stuck in traffic. So let's listen and some of you is going to read.
I overslept.
I missed the bus.
I missed the train.
I missed the plane.
I couldn't get a taxi.
I couldn't find parking.
I got stuck in traffic.
Okay, so now I would like you to turn on your microphones. Sin conveniencia en cuanto a sonido de fondo. ¿Pueden prender todos sus micrófonos? Y pronunciar. I would like to listen to you. So please turn on your microphones and let's repeat.
Now listen again and repeat.
I overslept.
I overslept.
Overslept.
I missed the bus.
I missed the bus.
I missed the train.
I missed
I
the train.
missed the train.
I missed the plane.
I missed the
I
plane.
missed the plane.
I missed the plane.
I couldn't get a taxi.
I couldn't get
I couldn't get a taxi.
I couldn't find parking.
I couldn't.
I couldn't
Couldn't
find
find
parking.
the parking.
I got stuck in traffic.
I got
I
stuck in
got
traffic.
stuck in traffic.
Excellent. And now turn off your microphones. Perfect. So this is vocabulary in order you can explain for being late in different places, different moments. Of course, you have to consider that it will depend how you are going to say it and to whom you are going to say it. Okay? Don't forget oversleep, missed the bus, couldn't get a taxi, couldn't find parking, and got stuck in the traffic. So, let's listen and we will recognize which vocabulary is adequate for each statement. Here it says, listen, the conversation is a conversation. We have to extract information. Complete the statement by inferring what happened. Use the vocabulary, the new vocabulary learned. So, let's listen this conversation. Here we only have 5 statements, so on. Why Ryan is late? Why Melissa is late? Why Andrew is late? Why Mark is late? And why they are late. So let's listen.
Conversation 1.
Ryan, where have you been? Are you okay?
I'm so sorry. I actually left my house 15 minutes early, and it never takes me more than 20 minutes to get here. I was in the car for over an hour.
Oh, no.
I think maybe there was an accident or something. I tried to call, but my phone wasn't working. It was just crazy.
Well, you're here now.
Conversation.
Okay, so do you listen why Ryan is late? Ryan is late because which one? He overslept? He missed the bus? He couldn't get a taxi? He couldn't find parking? Or he got stuck in the traffic? Which one do you think? Liz, please.
I think he got stuck in traffic because I think there is an accident.
Yes, excellent. So, Ryan is late because he got stuck in the traffic. Excellent. Thank you so much, Liz. So, let's listen conversation 2.
2.
Patty, where's Melissa? It's after 9. I'm starting to worry.
Actually, she called me from her car about 10 minutes ago.
She did?
Yeah, she was a little upset. She said she was here, but the garage was full, so she had to drive up and down the street. I told her not to worry.
Uh-oh. It's my fault. The garages are usually full by 8:45. I forgot to tell her to leave home early.
Okay, so number 2. Carla, please.
Melissa's late because she didn't find a parking place.
Excellent. In this case, she couldn't, right? Didn't we use when the action is finished. But in this case, couldn't, we're going to talk about later on I think the next unit is with couldn't, in which we refer to she cannot do it, the action, because something has interrupted that action. But that action she wanted to do, but okay, we are going to talk about that in the topic. Excellent, though. Melissa's late because she couldn't find parking. Thank you so much, Carla. So, number 3, let's listen.
Conversation 3.
Andrew, where were you?
I'm really sorry. I didn't sleep very well last night, and I didn't hear the alarm on my phone in the morning. What time is it now?
It's 8:20. The meeting starts in 10 minutes. Thank goodness you're here now.
Dailin, please. What is number 3?
Andrew late because he overslept.
He overslept. Perfect. He overslept. He says that he didn't have a really good night, so that's why he is late. Conversation number 4. So let's listen.
Conversation 4.
Mark, what happened? You're so late.
Well, when I got to the train station, I saw a train leaving, and I thought, uh-oh, there goes the 6:15 train.
No way. And the next train after that isn't till 7 o'clock.
Right, so that's what happened.
Betsabe, please. Why Mark is late?
He is late because he missed the bus or the train. I don't remember.
Excellent. In this case, the train. But you're right. Mark's late because he missed the train. Excellent. Thank you so much, Betsabe. And the last one, number 5. They are late. So it's referring that a group of people is late about something. So let's listen.
Conversation 5.
You know, we're already late.
There goes another one. Hey, I wave my hand, but no one stops.
It's been 15 minutes.
Well, it's raining. Everyone wants one when it's raining. Hey, there goes another one.
Forget it. The number 4 bus is coming down the street. Let's just take it.
Okay, I give up.
Okay, so why number 5? They are late. What do you think? Carla, please.
They are late because they couldn't take a taxi.
Excellent. They couldn't get a taxi. Perfect. And then it was really funny, like they pass, and they ignore them. Excellent. So here is the vocabulary. In order, you have to know it because it's important. It helps us to you to express different ways in which why you are late, to explain your reasons. There are other ones, yes, of course, but this is the most common ones, talking about social dynamic, okay? So some people can get stuck in traffic, some of them couldn't find parking, some of them oversleep, that is frequently and is common. Some of them miss the train, or some people can or couldn't get a taxi. So it depends on the context. Excellent. So now let's talk about grammar, and I'm pretty sure you already know this one. In grammar, I'm not sure, give me a second. Okay, here. Do you remember my timeline? In this case, here I will. Oh, no, color, no. No, that color. Okay, so I hope you remember my little timeline. What is my timeline, mi línea del tiempo, in which in grammatic it has different importance, okay? So that's my timeline. Here I have the now. So in my timeline, I have different times. This is now. What is the present? Okay. Here is the future. The next unit, we're going to talk about future. It's not too future. It's not difficult. I think an easy one at the moment, and the past. In past, we have two and other ones. Okay, so this is my timeline. Past, now, what is the present, and the future. So, remember one of the uses of the present perfect. I mentioned to you 3 uses, and this is goes with the last one. Remember that I mentioned to you that in the present perfect, we cannot mention a specific time. Yes, we cannot mention a specific time, like ended action. For example, I cannot say, I did my homework. No, I have done my homework yesterday, because that's not okay. The only moment that the present perfect led me to introduce a specific time is when the action that is here. Okay, when the action, suppose that I have an action that happened here, and that action was interrupted. I'm sorry. That action happened in the past, and that action is continue until now. Okay, so that action is continue. For example, I can say it. Mauricio has worked here since 2020. Could you notice that? That action in the past is continue until now. It doesn't finish. So in this rule, here we are going to present the for and since. What is for and what is since in this case? These are different words to help me to describe actions, situations that began in the past and continue in the present. Okay? Began in the past and continue in the present. We don't know nothing about the future, but the only thing we know is that it's continue until now. Okay? So, in this case, we have different verbs that are really commonly used with for and since, because there are non-actions or are verbs that are state, okay? The estative verbs. ¿Qué es un verbo estativo? O que se mantiene ahí o estable. En este caso, este verbo es el que se va a mantener. Es como in the Spanish we say, él ha trabajado aquí desde 1900 tanto, ¿no? O he estado estudiando desde mayo. So it's an action that is continued until now. The verbs that are omitted in this case are these ones. Work, live, study, and teach. Work, live, study, and teach. Okay? So these are really most common estative verbs we have. We have other ones like the verb be, dislike, have, now, like, love, need, see, and want. Okay? For example, like I say, I have wanted that cell phone since last year. So what is the action? In this case, it's like something that you preferred in continue that preferring until now because you're consistent, or maybe you hope you have that thing. So now let's talk about in which moments we can use for, in which moment we can use since, because this is important. It's not only say that for and since is going to omit time. No, it has its own rules. So let's see. Look at this. Use for to describe a length of time between when the action or situation began and now. It's when began, empieza, it's continue until now. For example, I worked at the bank for 3 years. 3 years. Look at this. I'm mentioning here the amount of time. That documentary has been at the theater for 2 weeks. also and mention the amount of time. We haven't seen any good musical for a long time. For a long time. So look at this. Long time. In this case, we are not mentioning an amount. We are mentioning the length of the time. The length of the time. Okay? So look at this. This also will mention the length. You can say for 3 hours, for 2 months, for many years, etc. This we use since to indicate a specific time or a specific date, situation, or action began. Okay, for example, she works there since 2050, okay, or 2050. In comparison to this, 3 years, in comparison, this is more specific because it's talking to us about the specific time in which that action happened. So in this case, maybe that action happened 2020, 2015, okay? Or next one, I've loved animated film since I was 8 years old. So don't be confused. Here, we are not talking 8 like an amount of time. We are talking about a specific moment, a specific stage of your living, nuestra estación de vida, o estación de desarrollo humano. So, since I was 8 years old. So this is really specific. Besides to say since I was a child. So that's really general. Okay, so these are the uses of for and since we have in what is present perfect. Okay, so consider the line time in order you can be guided. Now, be careful. As mentioned before, we don't use since with length of time. This is a frequent and really common mistakes and errors some people commit. That's okay, yes, but if you are going to have an exam, if you are going to write an academic essay, if you are going to have different, I don't know, a speech to have your degree, I don't know, maybe Cambridge, 12, EFL, ETL, etc. So in that cases, you cannot have this kind of mistakes. They've been here since 7 a.m. We do not say they've been here since an hour. We always in since the specific time. We cannot mention the length of the time for hours because hours you can say, I don't know, in different moments that are not admitted, okay? So take this into account. Here you have, we have a presentation in which there is the graphic of the timeline. So let's see it was comprehend or not. Yes, the pronunciation sentence forms. What else? Here we have a grammar practice in which it says, complete each sentence with for or since. For or since. Don't forget, for used to be really general, but not to be much specific. And since is really specific. It can tell you a specific year, it can tell you a specific month, it can tell you a specific time, it can tell you a specific moment, even a specific age of a person, if it is the case, okay? So give me a second, I will erase this one. So now, let's listen. I don't know, let's not listen, I'm sorry. So let's read and you will choose. We have only 5. Number 1, I've known Marcy more than 10 years. So, in this case, is for or since? Betsabe, please.
For.
Okay, so let's see. Excellent. For more than 10 years. So we are not being so specific. Excellent. Number 2, we've wanted to see that new Bong Joon-ho movie. It opened last month. So in this case, which one? Or since? Marcela.
Since It opened last month.
Excellent. Since it opened last month. Liz, number 3. They dislike horror movies. They were teenagers. So, for or since?
Since they were teenagers.
Excellent. Since they were teenagers, because it's really specific. Desde que eran jóvenes. Number 4. Lina hasn't been to a movie theater for a few months. Carlos Arturo, please.
For.
Excellent. For, because we are not being really specific. For a few months, but which months? I don't mention. Number 5. Jeff has had a bad headache. He saw that film. So, Alejandro Condori, please.
Since.
Excellent. Since, because it's really specific. Since which moment Jeff has had a bad headache? And my answer, since he saw that film. It's really a specific moment because you saw a movie is like 2 hours, 3 hours maybe, and that's a moment, a specific moment. So, excellent. I have different activities, but I will give you for the next class. This is a grammar practice. Now, let's see in a paragraph. Don't forget that you are already like B1 and B2, and you must be able to understand sentences, paragraph, and later on we are going to go to text. All right? So, what it says here, choose the correct words to complete the paragraph. So, here we have, this is the only paragraph we have. Greta Gerwig is an actor, a screenwriter, and director from the USA. Originally from California, Irving in New York City, where she studied acting. So, in this case, which one is according to present perfect? Irving in New York City, where she studied acting. She was 19. So, first, which one? Irving lived or has lived? Don't forget the rules. When we talk about simple past, we can mention a specific time because it's referring that the action ended. So, Betsabe, please.
With present perfect.
Okay, so you are saying has lived.
Yes.
Okay, excellent, has lived. Why we choose has lived? Let's refresh our memory. Irwin has lived in New York City, where she studied acting. Look at this. Until here, I don't have any specific time. I don't have a month. I don't have a year. Okay, so the action in this case, it finished, but I'm not mentioning the time because the most important here is has lived in New York City, where she studied acting. Okay, so in this case, for or since, we are talking about an age. Liz Ramos, please.
Teacher Steins, she was 19.
Excellent. Since she was 19. Excellent. So, since she was 19. So the next sentence, let's see. The first time I saw her act was in the movie Hannah Take the Stairs. And I, a huge fan, more than 10 years. So in this case, which will be? I was or I have been? Which? I, a huge fan, more than 10 years. I actually, Carla, please.
I have been a huge fan
Excellent.
for
A huge fan.
fan
Mhm. For
for
a
yeah
huge
for
fan for more than 10 years. More than 10 years. It doesn't mention like it's a specific like 10. It's more than 10 years. Maybe the person do not remember. It's like 10 years, 12, 14. I don't know, but it's more than 10 years. So Marcela, please. Number 5. I've actually, da, 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 in this case, saw or seen and she's been. Okay, so let's see. Excellent. She's been in since 2010. I was until 2017 that she made it really big with the movie Lady Bird, which she number six, which will be wrote or has written. Look at this. Which I'm sorry, she, da, 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 and directed.
Wrote.
Liz,
She
excellent.
wrote and directed.
Perfect. In which she wrote and directed. Okay? How we can realize this? Conocemos algo que se llama, en nuestro caso, paralelismo. In writing, for us, it's really important because it refers like, I don't know, in writing, we have to maintain different parallelisms. It mentioned that if here you are going to mention with simple past, the next one is going to be mentioned with the next, with a simple past. Okay, it's like to find the rhythm. If you are going to use, I don't know, like these ones, you have to use then these ones. Okay, so parallelism help us to notice which words has that rhythm. Okay, we cannot say which she rhythm because the next one is with ed. Later on, we're going to talk about this one. Okay, but it's really interesting because also parallelism help us to understand reading comprehension. Okay, so here it says, since she completed the film Little Woman 2 years later, Yerwin tons of phrases in talent. So receive or has receiving. Received. Which one? Alejandro, please.
Has received.
Okay, excellent. Has received tons of praise for her writing and directing talent. Excellent. And also because in this sentence we are not mentioning a specific time. No estamos mencionando tiempo específico. Perfect. So, as we review, let's see. Here it says complete each conversation using the present perfect with for or since. So, in this case, here we have all the words we need. You see any good documentary. So let's review about present perfect. Present perfect. And use for or since. Here we have the time. Will last meet, years, and the other ones we have. Okay? So, number 1. How will be the question? How will be the question? ¿Cómo sería? Number 1. It starts with a have. How will be? Carla, please.
It will be, have you seen any good documentaries?
Okay, and here?
Since we last met.
Excellent. Since we last met. In this case, can be confused. When we say last meet, it is supposed that both persons know the exact time, knows when they meet, knows at what time. So it can be confused, but it has its own background. Excellent. Thank you so much, Cara. So here we have the question. Has Ellen always wanted to be a movie star? Yes, she has. How it goes here, their answer. Is a she, so we have to formulate well our my verb have. So any volunteer? Laura, please.
Yes, she has. She has wanted to be in the movies for years.
Excellent. She has wanted to be in the movies for years. 4 years. Because this is not a specific time. It can be changed. If we say, she has wanted to be in the movies since last year, or maybe since 2000, all right? Excellent. So the next one, Dailin. Number 3. What animated film is your son's favorite? Well,
Well, he has loved the Lion King since we first saw in the years ago.
excellent. He has loved the Lion King since we first saw it. Then we saw it 10 years ago, okay? So here we have the specific time, 10 years ago. Number 4, any volunteer? Maybe Betsabe, please. Who's your favorite movie director? So, how will be?
I have been a big fan of Sofia Coppola for a long time.
Excellent, for a long time. I have been a big fan of Sofia Coppola for a long time. Excellent. So, this is the use of the for and since. Here we have practice conversation. I would like to do it like breaker rounds, but and hopefully it's kind of difficult. So let's do it in pronunciation and then you're going to have your break, okay? Pronunciation, it says, reduction of the H sound in English. Don't forget that the H in English has its own pronunciation. It's not like in Spanish, it's like it doesn't have sound. But here, yes. Read and listen to how the sound H disappears. Then listen again and repeat. Look at this. Has he been? So let's listen how this H in these compositions disappears. It disappears. So let's listen.
1,
Has he been here long?
2,
Ted has been here for an hour.
3,
Anne and Ben have been actors since 2015.
4,
What have you been up to?
5,
When did her friend arrive?
6.
What's his favorite movie?
Now,
Okay, so what is going on here? Look at this. Look at each word like has, Ted, been, what, what's, all right? Is finished with a consonant. So what happened in this case? When we have a consonant, and near to this consonant, it's my H sound, okay? Is my H sound, it disappears because it's like a cemetery. We pronounce like has he, has he, has he. Te das, okay? Pronunciation is in this way. Has he been here long? Te das been here for an hour. And we have been actors since 2015. What have you been up to? When did her friend arrive? What's his favorite movie? Okay, so in this case, when we have the consonant and next to is the H sound, it has that function. The H sound disappears, because it has a vowel next. E, A, S, A, E, I, okay? So it has another vowel. And that vowel is fusioning with this consonant. Se está fusionando con ese consonante. That's why only in some cases in which here we have vowel and here is H, the H is going to maintain its sound. That's why here it doesn't mention with have, okay? No menciona con el have porque termina en vocal. Así que ahí no hay mucho problema porque se lo pronuncia separado. Pero cuando esté con una consonante, esta palabrita antes, presidiendo, en este caso le está antecediendo al mi verbo auxiliar. En la I se cambia o se omite el. So, I would like any of you, Betsabe, please, could you read the first sentence?
Yes. Has he been here long?
Excellent. Has he been here long? Abraham Ali, number 2.
Okay. Te has been here for an hour.
Excellent. For an hour. Daniel Perez Andrade, please, number 3.
And being after science 2015.
Don't forget it's since. Okay.
Since.
Excellent. Since. In some words, yes, then we maintain the sound, all right? But in this case, no. Since. Only since. Karen, please, number 4.
Okay, what have you been up to?
Excellent. What have you been up to? Laura Maciel, number 5, please.
When did our friend arrive?
Excellent. And number 6, Christelle.
What is favorite movie?
Excellent. What is his favorite movie? What is his favorite movie? Excellent. So, here we have our communicator activator. We're going to do it. We are going to have 10 minutes of break, okay? Let's irritate ourselves. Vayan a tomar agüita. Quienes no han desayunado pueden aprovechar esos 10 minutitos para hacerlo. Let's return in 10 minutes, okay? Okay, so break is over. Please come back. Come back to classes. Okay, so here we are going to see a conversation model. What is a conversation model? Don't forget that we have vocabulary. We have already seen for scenes, for any kind of situation. We also have how to explain why we are late, okay? So as we have different here vocabulary, grammar part, vocabulary, so how we can use this in our advance in order to communicate something, or how we can use it as a conversation to communicate with other people. So let's see here. Here it says this conversation model, we have different social language. We are already seeing some of these words, and also some of these words are new for us, okay, like introduction to the next unit has been. So for example, here it says, social language, offer to pay. Some people are, how's they willing when you invite some friends, some relatives, you offer to pay different bills. So in this case, offer to pay, we can say it like the tickets are on me. The tickets are on me. Okay, like you are going to pay everything that you are going to eat, maybe. Are the ones that we already seen. My treat. My treat. Let me get the ticket. Let me get the bill. Okay. I will get the tickets. I'll get the tickets. So these are different ways in which we can mention or we can offer to pay something for someone because we are invite that person or we are with the willingness to do it. Okay, so let's listen and then you are going to practice pronunciation. But first, only listen to this.
Sorry I'm late. I couldn't find parking. Have you been here long?
For about 5 minutes, but no worries.
Have you checked the show times?
Yes. Unfortunately, the 7 o'clock show for Funny Weekend is sold out, but the cable car is playing at 7:10.
That sounds good. Hey, the tickets are on me.
That's really not necessary.
My treat. I insist.
Okay, so as you could see, it says, sorry, I'm late. I couldn't find parking. Have you been long? Here long? Look at this. I couldn't find parking. I'm sorry. I couldn't find parking. Look at this. It mentioned what we already seen. Couldn't find parking. For about 5 minutes, but no worries. Have you checked the show times? Yes, unfortunately, the 7 o'clock show for Funny Weekend is sold out, but the cable car is playing at 7:10. That sounds good. Hey, the tickets are on me. The tickets are on me. That you are going to pay for the tickets. And the other person answered, that's not necessary. That's not really necessary. My treat, I insist. Okay? Is that the person is going to pay the tickets. So, please, I would like you, Alejandro Contori, you will be letter A, and Angelis Carlo, you will be letter B. Okay? So, let's start.
Okay. Sorry, I'm late. I couldn't find parking. Have you been here long?
For about 4 minutes, but no worries.
Have you checked the show times?
Yes, unfortunately, the 7th show for Funny Weekend is sold out, but the cable car is playing at 7:10.
That sounds good. Hey, the tickets are on me.
That's really not necessary.
My treat. I insist.
Excellent. Thank you so much, you both. And now, Betsabe and Carla. Betsabe, you will be letter A, and Carla, you will be letter B. So, let's start.
Sorry, I'm late. I couldn't find parking. Have you been here long?
For about 5 minutes, but no worries.
Have you checked the show times?
Yes, unfortunately, the 7 show for Funny Weekend is sold out, but the cable car is playing at 7:10.
That sounds good. Hey, the tickets are on me.
That's really not necessary.
My treat, I insist.
Excellent. Thank you so much, you both. So, as you see, here we have different ways to offer to pay. It's not like only say I offer myself to pay, because like we don't say that direct, okay? We can say no, déjame que pague yo, no? No, déjame que pague. So that's the all words we have. Of course, we can change tickets. The ones that are in bracket are the ones that we can change. We can say the tickets, if we did a concert, or maybe the movie theater, or we can say the bill, que es la factura como tal. So it will depend on the context as mentioned before. So here we have, again, the comma indicator activator. We already pronounced this, yes, and let's see this one. Here it says, add 4 movies to the show times. Use them to change the conversation, then change the roles. So in this case, it's not that only to memorize, but now is to add any of this. We have recycled this language. If you don't remember, we already seen. I wouldn't mind. How about? I've heard any movie is pretty good. I can stand. Remember, I can stand horror movie. I've seen that one before. That's way past my bedtime. I'm not, I don't know, musical movie fan. That's not for me. Okay, so we have this recycled language we are already seen in the first units one. Okay, so here it says you have to write your movies. You already have in the comments different movies. Maybe you can choose it, right? So in this case, you have to change different things. Sorry, I'm late. Then you have to add it as mentioned in the exercise 1. Sorry, I'm late. You can mention any inconvenience you had, any inconvenience, okay? You can say, I couldn't find parking, I oversleep, etc. Whatever you want. With vocabulary number, I think vocabulary number 3, it was number 2. Have you been here long? For about, you mentioned the time you were there, okay? For about, I don't know, for about 3 hours, for about a long time, etc. But no worries. Have you checked the show times? Yes. And in this case, you can say it. Unfortunately, the 7th show for Funny Weekend is sold out. So in this case, you can write it down in any place you want. Okay? That sounds hey, etc. In this case, choose any movie and you will write it down in the gaps. Here we have, I don't know, you can mention Titanic or any movie you have in your mind. And don't forget the schedules you have. We need one schedule in which it's sold out, and we need another schedule in which is free and we can go, okay? As we mentioned before. Just to remember. Look at this. Yes, sorry I'm late. Here, you're going to find any inconvenience you have to be, or maybe to explain why you are late. I couldn't find parking. I overslept. I missed the bus, etc., etc. Okay, or I couldn't get a taxi. Have you been here long? Okay, it's like mention si estabas aquí o desde cuándo estabas, okay? o cuánto tiempo estabas esperando. For about 5 minutes, for about 10 minutes, for about an hour. But no worries. Have you checked the show times? Yes. Unfortunately, the 7 show for Funny Weekend is sold out. Que se han acabado los tiquetes, que ya no hay. But the cable car is playing at 7:10. You can also say, yes, the cable car, or yes, the Titanic is playing at 7:10. And that's okay. Can be negative, can be positive. Both are okay. That sounds good. Hey, the tickets are on me. That's really not necessary, my friend. I insist. Here you have, or you need to use different expressions, okay? So, who would like to do it here? Who would like to start? Sorry, I'm late. You can mention why you are late. Why you are late. You oversleep, you missed the bus, you couldn't get a taxi, you were in a traffic jam, etc., etc. So, Carla, please, you will be letter A. I need other volunteer, please. Betsabe, perfect. So, and then Cecilia, and other volunteer for Cecilia. Carla, you will be letter A, and Betsabe, you will be letter B.
Okay. Sorry, I'm late. I missed the bus. Have you been here for long? Have you been here long?
For about 30 minutes, but no worries.
Have you checked the show times?
Yes, unfortunately, the 5 show for Funny Weekends is sold out, but Strike is playing at 6 p.m.
That sounds good. Hey, I'll pay the tickets.
That's really not necessary.
My treat. I insist.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, girls. You're doing amazing. And now, Cecilia, and you will do it with Carlos Arturo, please. Cecilia, you will be letter A, and Carlos, you will be letter B. So, let's start.
Sorry, I'm late. I got stuck in traffic. Have you been here long?
For about 10 minutes. But no worries.
Have you checked the show times?
Yes. I mean in 9 and 10.
So more?
Perdón, teacher, no entendí muy bien. Tengo que buscar uno de la tabla roja, ¿no?
Ok. Sí, en este caso tú puedes decir, yes, unfortunately, but traffic tickets are sold out. But you can mention other movies. Puedes poner aquí otra película si quieres, ¿no? O también puedes decir, but traffic is going to, we have tickets for 9 and 10 or 11:20. Okay, like in this example. Give me a second. Yes, unfortunately, the 7 show for Tú tienes que cambiar. Puedes poner la hora que quieras. The 9 o'clock show for Titanic is sold out. But the Avengers is playing at 7. Coordinas con el tiempo. Sé que has dicho 9, entonces 9:10. Porque se supone que se ha vendido todo. Pero el de 9 and 10 ya está libre. Así que tienes que hacerlo de esa manera. ¿Ok? Unfortunately, el tiempo correspondiente, cualquier película le metes y luego después mencionas otra película, otra alternativa y el tiempo. All right? So,
Ok, cualquier película, ¿no? ¿O hay una lista de películas ahí?
cualquier película, cualquiera.
Yes. There. Yes. Unfortunately, bad traffic is sold out, but yes, but bad traffic is sold out at 6:55 and 7:20. But Caroline is at 9 with 10 minutes.
That sounds great. Hey, the tickets are on me.
That's really not necessary.
My treat, I insist.
Okay, thank you so much. Mi hermanito. All right, so this is the communication activator we have. Don't forget, you have too much language in this case to explain your ideas. So I recommend to you to buy any libretas or these ones. Like I like bibliographic notes, and you need to write it down like vocabulary. Believe it or not, this will help to you to express better your ideas, all right? Like I wouldn't mind, how about, like here, for about as well. Sorry, I'm late. We don't always start a conversation like, hello, how are you, all right? That's the misconception we have about English, but we have different ways. If you are late, you're going to say, hey, hello. No, you can please say, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm really sorry, I'm late, and give you reason because the other person already know, okay, I know you are late, but why you are late, all right? Excellent. So this is my communicator activator we have, and then here we have the talking movie. This ones we are going to do it as mentioned before. I have formal forms in which I will explain to you at the end of the class. Okay? Here we have as well. Okay, this one, grammar. Present perfect. This is a complementary unit. That's why I wanted to, you need to know grammar. What is complementary unit? In which we talk about present perfect already, but in this case, we have different uses. As mentioned before, for and since is one use we have with present perfect because it goes with the time. In why is this important? Because with simple past, we can be confused. Don't forget, simple past are actions that ended in the past. It's not continue in the present. The actions are done. But in present perfect, we have three different expressions as mentioned, and you can review again in the presentation you have in classroom, all right? This one is other. Present perfect, we have other uses in this case with different type of vocabulary. So it's not like mandatory. It's not like we cannot use with them. Of course, we can use it. First, we can use with ordinals, number. First, second, third, fourth, etc. Talking about time, for example, this is the second time we've seen the Avengers. This is the third time we've seen Shark. So this is the first time to, I don't know, we've seen the noon, etc. Okay, so we can use also the present perfect with different numbers in ordinals, ordinal numbers, okay? Like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th, the ones that most numbers end with first, second, third, that are irregular, and the other ones with th, like 5th, 6th, right? Then we can also use the present perfect with superlatives. Superlatives like the most, the height, okay? For example, this is the very common. Black hair is the most amazing film I ever seen. Or I can say again, The Conjuring is the most terrifying film I ever seen. Or I can say, I don't know any musical. I will take my favorite musical, just for this example. Alexander Hamilton is the most boring film I ever seen. It's not boring, but it's just for example, okay? So we can mention here other adjectives. I hope you remember the moment in we talk about ing as an adjective. I don't know if you remember when we, give me a second, when we're referring to, I don't know, boring, amazing, terrifying, what else? Other adjectives we have, okay? So in this case, don't forget, the most amazing, the most boring, the most terrifying, and any other adjective you have in your mind, okay? What else we have? With always. With always, we can also use with the present perfect, like I've always wanted to see that movie. I always, I don't know, I'm not sure what says. I always go to sleep late, okay? So in this case, which is the order and what we have to consider though? In this case, don't forget, here we have my subject, auxiliary verb, because they are in contracted form. Then I have my adverb, always. And then it's my verb, okay? So this is the correct structure. I've always wanted to see that movie. We do not say, I wanted always to see it. No, all right? Or also we can say, always I wanted. No, this is the correct order. I've, subject, auxiliary verb. Then always, and then wanted to see that movie, all right? Don't forget this structure. It's really important. Better if in your books you underline or highlight the word always. It's important. Which other uses we have with the present perfect? With, recently, or just. That means not long ago. Don't long ago. All right? In this case, it's like the time not passed is not a long time, like to say he has worked since 2020, in which we have like 5 years of difference. But in this case, no. It's because the action happened and it's still maybe, but it doesn't pass too much time. So not long ago, all right? Have you seen any good movies recently? Recently can mean, I don't know, yesterday or the last week, because it's not too specific. And here we can mention, we've just seen The Lost Boat. What a great movie. We just seen The Lost Boat. What a great movie. All right? Recently to refers no long ago. In this case, the action that happened did not pass too much time. And just to answer this kind of question, we've just seen only one thing, okay, or specific things. So this is the other one in which we use the present perfect. And still also far, that is until now, that the action is continuing until now as well. For example, I still haven't seen The Angry Athlete. I still haven't seen The Angry Athlete. In this case, still es como si estuviéramos diciendo aún, ¿ok? Really? I've seen it 3 times so far. Really? I've seen it 3 times so far, okay? So that person has seen that movie before, maybe 2 times. And until now, she's continuing seeing or watching that movie because maybe that caught her or his attention. Okay, so these are the different ways in which we can use the grammar. Something to be noticed. Watch out with this. I've always wanted. With just is the same. We've just seen. Okay, it maintains the same structure. Look at this. Still, first the subject, then my complement, that is still, my adverb, and then auxiliary verb, and the main verb. I still haven't seen. We don't say I haven't still seen. We don't say still I haven't seen. We don't say I haven't seen still. No. Subject, I still haven't seen. Haven't seen, okay? Be careful with this. It's not the same as just and always. So watch out that. Be careful. Okay, so these are other ways in which we can say or we can be the presence of present perfect. And as you could notice here, we are not mentioning a specific time. It's not mentioned a specific time. It's maybe a time, but we don't mention a specific. Why is this important? Because if it mentions a specific time, we have to analyze if the action is continued until now or not, or the action finished. For example, here, I still haven't seen the movie La La Land. I've always wanted to see that one. So please, I would like each of you write in the chat comment some. You can change. For example, in my case, which one I didn't? I still haven't seen the movie. Better if you write down the genre, okay? I still haven't seen the musical movie. The musical movie, Glee Tower the music. Glee Tower the musical. I've always wanted to see that one. Okay, so please, all of you, write like this example. Only change the movie. Okay? And better if you mention the genre in order to practice. Vayan escribiendo en los comentarios esta misma estructura. I still haven't seen the movie. Y ahí ponen la película que no hayan visto o que quisieran ver. Si no tienen ideas, pues sus compañeros han escrito hace un momento, así que pueden ver. Y mejor si le añaden el género de la película. Horror movie, musical movie, documentary, I don't know, funny movies, etc. Y luego mantienen. I've always wanted to see that one. So please write it down in the comments. Okay, so let's read Cecilia. I still haven't seen the movie. Suzume is an animated movie. I've always wanted to see that one. Excellent. Thank you so much, Cecilia. Please. I still haven't seen. haven't seen the science fiction movie, The Lord of Rings. Excellent. That's a great movie. If you wanted to practice different intonation of pronunciation, The Lord of Rings has different ones and different expression since colloquial, formal, antique, and other ones. So it's really enriching to listen the Lord of Rings in its nature, like in English. And Helen, I still haven't seen the animated movie Flow. Okay, perfect. Carlos, I still haven't seen non-movie of Star Wars science fiction. Excellent. I still haven't seen the science fiction movie Dawn. I've always wanted to see that one. Yeah. I recently in a bookstore I could see that Dune it has books, right? I didn't know it actually. I still haven't seen the movie Demon Slayer because it will go out on September. Yes, I'm waiting for that. I still haven't seen the drama movie Titanic. I always wanted to see that one. Excellent. I still haven't seen the movie The Color Purple. I always wanted to see. Neither do I. I I didn't see it. But I still haven't seen the movie The Joker. I always wanted to see that one. Yes, it's a good one. I still haven't seen the movie Paddington in Peru. I always wanted. Paddington, Titanic. I've already seen it in many times. Excellent. I still haven't seen the movie Avengers. I've always wanted to see that one. Excellent. And I still haven't seen the animated Six Feet Here. That was my childhood. I don't know how. That was my childhood. So here's pronunciation later on. Okay, here's the grammar practice. Write your own responses to the questions using the present perfect with the words and expression from the grammar chart. Then compare and discuss your responses with a partner. Okay, so in this case, we have 6 questions in which we have to answer. Why we don't have here correct answers? Because it is supposed that these questions can be answered by your experiences. Okay? For example, here, is there an old movie or TV series you've always wanted to see? Yes, there is. I always wanted to see Coco. So I will ask to you, don't forget. I'm pretty sure you have your books, so don't forget to use some of them if it is needed. Okay? Si es necesario, usen este vocabulario. Number 2. Have you seen any great movies recently? So, there is any volunteer who would like to answer number 2? Betsabe, please.
Yes, I have. I have just seen La tumba de las luciérnagas.
Excellent.
And it was
Perfect.
great.
Yes, and it was great. Excellent, Betsabe. Number 3. What's the best movie you've ever seen? What's the best movie you've ever seen? Any volunteer who would like to answer? Carla, please.
Well, in my case, the best movie that I have ever seen, it will be The Nun, because for me it's one of the it's my favorite horror movie, and also
Yes.
I like all the plot in that movie, and also all the movies from The Nun.
Thank you so much, Carla. Yes, The Nun. I think it's a really great and beautiful movie. My sister really loves that kind of movies. I also love it, yes, but I have my preference as well. Okay, excellent. Number 4. What's the most boring movie you've ever seen? What's the most boring movie you've ever seen? So, any volunteer who would like to tell me what is the most boring movie? Boring, aburrido, all right? Movie you've ever seen? Any volunteer or victim? Cecilia, please.
Well, sorry. I still haven't seen the movie Star Wars because I think there are so many movies like the same.
Yes. No, don't worry, don't worry. I never see. I use it like an example. I don't see it, that kind of movie. For me, it's as well like to be constant with different things. I'm sorry. No, don't worry, don't worry. I didn't see the Star Wars. It was just an example. Excellent. So, what's the most boring movie? So, it can be Star Wars. It depends on the people, all right? Number 5. How many times have you streamed movies in the last few weeks? How many times have you streamed movies in the last few weeks? Hmm? How many times? Don't forget to use it, this one. Any volunteer? How many times? So if we are talking about how many times, you can mention with ordinals. Anybody? Nobody? Okay, so maybe Karen, are you here? How many times have you streamed movies in the last few weeks?
I'm sorry, but I don't like to see movies.
Okay, so you don't like. So in this case, you can say it.
Sabía que responder si me toca, ¿qué hago?
Okay, don't worry, it's okay. Even though for that, you need to know how to answer, okay? So you can say, I don't like watching movies. So, do you have any other preferences besides to watch movies? ¿Tienes alguna otra preferencia aparte de ver películas? Bueno, aparte de lo que una persona haría viendo películas.
I'm sorry,
Karen.
no escuché.
Otro, no sé, leer libros, no sé, leer cómics, ver series, something like that.
Actually, I am reading, estoy leyendo un libro que es de enseñanza, es de crianza respetuosa. No sé cómo decirlo ahorita en inglés, pero ahí va, estoy más de educación.
All right, all right. So later on we are going to learn this, but you can say I'd rather prefer to read, in this case, academic books, okay?
Okay.
I don't like watching movies. I'd rather prefer to read academic books, okay? This rather prefer, vamos a aprenderlo si es que nos alcanza el tiempo hoy día. If not, the next class. I rather prefer to read academic books, okay? Excellent. So don't worry, don't be afraid. If you don't like something, that's okay. That's okay, all right? Number 6, is there a recent movie that you still haven't seen? So I ask, there is any volunteer first? Would like to answer number 6. Is there a recent movie that you still haven't seen? Angeles, please.
I haven't seen Moana 2 Yeah, just because I was told it's not that good. Thanks.
Excellent, thank you so much. So, Angela mentioned that she haven't seen Moana 2. It's not maybe because time, it's because maybe she received different comments that mention that it's not okay. Excellent. So, that's the grammar practice. So, in this case, we are going to see, next, give me a second. Hey. This was our talking to. Habíamos está bien cerquita de rather to. All right, so this is other grammar structure to express preferences, as mentioned before. We are not like a gold coin, okay? No somos la moneda de oro para todos, como se menciona. But in English, we have, and you are going to see that many American people, they are really like have the freedom to express their own preferences. In some cultures, they maintain their preferences because they want to, I don't know, maybe to be more near to other person or to have more attachment like friends, like partners, etc., or like classmates. But in America, people, they're really free to express everything what they want. If something is disgust to them, they are going to say it front by front. No tienen miedo de decirte, all right? As it will be here in our context. But in our context, sometimes we are really shy for different historical events, okay? So we have this grammar expression in which help us to express our preferences. It can be maybe some of you do not know movies, or maybe you are not consistent with that, but maybe you, besides to movies, you do other things. You maybe listen to music, read different kind of books. What else you can do? Maybe you don't see movies, but you prefer, I don't know, dramas, novels, series, or other things. Or maybe some YouTuber streamers, or maybe some TikTok live. I don't know. It can be depend on the preferences people has, all right? Or people have, I'm sorry. So in this case, we use the would rather. Would rather, okay? We use would rather plus a base form. What is the base form? Don't forget. For example, we have the verb, un verbo irregular, verbo irregular. Give me a second. I'm thinking on a particular verb. Okay, so the verb take. Take, it has a simple past, that is took and taken, the past participle. So when we refer to a base form, we use to take into account this one. This is our base form, okay? And also, it's not only with irregular verbs. If we have the verb watch, so we mention for simple past watch is watched. For past participle, watched. Okay, so this is the base form we have to take into account for this structure. Okay, the base form. To express a preference between two or more choices. Okay, two or more choices. For example, I can say, I would rather prefer horror movies than science fiction movies. So here I have more than two options. Also, I can mention, like, I would rather prefer, I would rather prefer to watch romantic movies and what else? Funny movies than horror movies. Okay, so here we have more choices than one. Number two, we use would rather, not my negative, plus the base form to express a negative preferences. I can say, I would rather not to watch I don't know, I would rather not watch horror movie because it's really scary to me. All right? So we can give us different expressions. So we can mention reasons as well. So look at this, my statements. My life would rather watch TV than go out tonight. My wife would rather watch TV than go out tonight. So it mentioned that his wife prefers to watch TV. She prefers to watch TV than go out tonight. Look at this. When we are going to mention two choices or more, we use than. Okay? Than is like compare two things. One is what you prefer, and the other thing is what you don't prefer. Okay? Or maybe there is like como un gradient, como a gradient one, como un degradé. Hay cosas que preferimos mucho, hay otras cosas que no, y otras cosas que al final no preferimos, como una escala de Likert. So, in negative, I'd rather not get stuck in traffic again. We can mention also, it's not necessary to mention two. The contraction form in this case is the rather. That is also the same that would rather. Like, my wife would rather watch TV than go tonight. In question, how it goes. In questions, we always, this is for almost all structures, first goes my auxiliary verb. Would and would. Then it goes my subject pronoun or subjects, if we will like proper name maybe. Would they? Would you? And then it goes my rather and the base form of the verb. Rather see. Okay? Uy, se borró mi otro texto. Something to be noticed. When we are going to use it, this would with a double H question, be careful with this. First, it goes my double H question, like what, like who, like where, etc. Then it goes my auxiliary verb, in this case, would, and then it needs to go my subject pronoun, if it is necessary. We just, cuando hablamos a una segunda persona, siempre usamos nuestro subject pronoun, que en este caso va a ser el you. Siempre. Jamás decimos, no sé, ¿qué te gustaría? Y poner cualquier nombre, ¿no? No decimos mucho de esa manera. Porque se supone que la persona ya te está escuchando. So in this case, then we have my rather do. Rather and my verb in base form. So that's the structure it must follow. In question, would they rather see an action film or a romance? Look at this. When we are going to use or mention more than two options or more than one option, look at this. We use or in question. We cannot say the fact like, would they rather see an action film than a romance? First, to confirm with or, okay? What would you rather do? Go out to see a movie or stay home? Would you rather see a comedy? And my short answers. Be careful. My short answers can be yes, I would. Yes, I would. No, I wouldn't. O también, or also, no, I'd rather not. No, I'd rather not. these three options are admitted. No say, be careful. Not say, yes, I'd rather. No in positive. In this case, for positive, we have only one answer. Yes, I would. Only that. We don't mention yes, I rather, or yes, I on the other ones. No. For positive, we only have yes, I would. The only answer, short answer we have. It can say yes, she would, yes, he would, yes, they would, yes, we would. But we cannot say yes, I don't know, I rather. No, that's not okay. Also, we do not say no, I wouldn't rather. No, it's not necessary. Don't forget, like in verb to be, like the verb do, does, it maintains only the auxiliary verb. No, I wouldn't. But in this case, no, I'd rather not. No, I'd rather not. This must be in contracted form. Tiene que estar de la forma contracta, right? So be careful. Do not commit these mistakes. You can say, yes, I would. No, I wouldn't. Now, these are short answers, direct answers. Son respuestas directas, cortas. But if you want to express yourself, like mention, I don't know, like to give the reasons, you must say, yes, I would. Yes, I would. I rather prefers to ta 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 ta, and then you complement, but never use in this way, like in short answers. Never, never, because it's not okay. It's going to give you some troubles if you commit these mistakes. Better if you omit it. All right, so here we have the expression, la la land. I've already seen it a million times. To tell the truth, I'd much rather see a new movie. Okay, so would with rather help us to express our preferences. Can be talking about movie, can be talking about means of transportation, can be talking about, I don't know, books, genres, movie genres, technological preferences, any preferences you have. As we are in movies, of course, we can talk about movies, but we can also talk about different other things in which we can express our preferences, right? So, let's see here. This is a pronunciation base. Here we have our grammar practice. It says, choose the correct answer to complete the conversation about preferences. So here we have question 1. I'd love to see the movie yesterday. What do you think? Actually, I've already seen that one. So, which will be here? ¿Cuál sería? Any volunteer? Actually, I've already seen that one. Carla, please.
I think actually I've already seen that one. I'd rather see something else.
Excellent. I'd rather see something else, ¿no? En este caso, prefiere ver otro más. Number 2. What would you rather? A comedy or a drama? So, which one in this case? What would you rather? See or to see? Any volunteer? Please, please.
What would you rather see, a comedy or a drama?
Excellent. See. Oh, something that I'm forgetting to explain to you. We have, for example, the see, saw, seen, right? That is, see, simple present, saw, simple past, and seen, past participle, right? We are okay with that. So, how we call to this appears. Tenemos un grupito de verbos que se llaman verboides. Are verbs that are not conjugated. Son verbos que no están conjugados, pero tampoco los llamamos base form, porque nuestra forma base es esta. Este es un verboide, es decir, infinitive. Como en español, los que aquí hayan hecho alguna vez investigación, metodología de investigación, siempre nos dice los objetivos tienen que estar en infinitivo, ¿no? Si yo digo, no sé, investigar, analizar, esa ar, ir, ¿no ve? So in English, we have this, to see, to watch, to think, to write, to read. These are verbs that are in infinitive. Infinitive. It's not the base form. Do not be confused, okay? See, simple present. So, simple past. Seen, past participle, okay? Yes, past participle. I'm having like my thoughts. And to see, my infinitive, okay? So, watch out with that. Excellent. So, for number 2, me, neither. So, see a good science fiction movie. Which one? Me neither. I'd rather or I'd rather not. The question says, what would you rather see? What would you rather see? A comedy or a drama? Me neither. I'd rather or I'd rather not. Daniel?
Reader.
Okay. Excellent. I'd rather see a good science fiction movie. Excellent. So, number 3. Would you like to go out to see a movie tonight? Betsabe?
Actually, I'd rather not. I'm totally beat.
Excellent. I'd rather not. I'm totally beat. Don't forget. Beat means to be really tired. To be really tired. Number 4. I would rather. Laura, please.
I'd rather stay home and stream a movie tonight. What do you think?
Excellent. I'd rather stay home and stream a movie tonight. Me? Which will be here? I'd rather or rather not?
I'd rather, perdón.
Yes, continue, Karen, don't worry.
Yeah, I'd rather not, no se ve bien. A ver, I'd rather not, I feel like going out.
Excellent. Me, I'd rather not. I feel like going out. ¿Cómo sabemos que es rather not? Miren en aquí. I'd rather stay at home and stream movie. En aquí ya te está mencionando lo que prefiere persona 1. Y en aquí le dice, what do you think? ¿No? ¿Qué piensas? ¿O qué opina de esas 2 actividades que va a hacer esta persona? ¿No? O de la preferencia en este caso, que es quedarse en casa. En aquí, me, I'd rather not. Y miren aquí automáticamente ya me cambia a otra acción. Me, I'd rather not. I feel like going out. Lo contrario de lo que es quedarse en casa. That's why here is in negative. Excellent. We are doing a good job. So here we have practice the conversation. We are going to do it later on. I would like more time to explain to you different forms we have. Okay? Communication activator. Here we have new social language. What is social language? The words that is going to help to you to express your ideas, to deal with different social conversation, like interact with other people. Here we have. Now, let's choose a movie to watch. Here we have. Liz, you're here. Social language says, that works for me. That works for me. This is an expression in which we want to mention that some actions, some plans are in our way, in which we are agreed to those plans, okay? That works for me. If we try to find the literal explanation, es como, eso trabaja para mí. Pero no, en este caso significa que eso está bien para mí. Que eso, I don't know, maybe you like horror movies, someone is inviting you to watch horror movies, so that's okay for you. That's okay for you, okay? So that's what it means. That works for me. That works for me. So let's listen, and you are going to be rolling. So first listen.
Hi, Liz. How about a movie tonight?
That works for me. What are you in the mood for? A good love story?
No offense, but I can't stand love stories. I think I'd rather see a classic film, like Men in Black. What do you think?
That sounds good. I've always wanted to see that one.
Okay, so don't forget the pronunciation. That works for me. That works for me. This expression is really common used in American people. It's not like we have different agreements in our cases in Spanish, like mentioned. Puedes decir, no sé, tienes tiempo a las 3 en punto el lunes, 3 en punto, para que vayamos a tomar un café. Y te va a decir sí. But in English, some people say that works for me. It's because you have free time in that time and you are free. So you can meet with that person at that time. It's like everything is, todo está en tu vía, ¿no? Todo está contigo. So, please, I would like 2 volunteers to read this conversation, like rolling. Laura, perfect. And Angeles, Laura, you will be letter A. Angeles, you will be letter B. Darling, later on with you and with Liz. Okay? So please.
Okay. Hi Liz, how about a movie tonight?
That works for me. What are you in the mood for, a good love story?
No offense, but I can't stand love stories. I think I'd rather see a classic film like Men in Black. What do you think?
That's so good. I've always wanted to see that one.
Excellent, girls. Thank you so much. So now, Liz and Daily. Daily, you will be letter A, and Liz, you will be letter B. So let's start.
Hi Liz, how about a movie tonight?
That works for me. What are you in the mood for? A good love history?
No offense, but I can't stand love stories. I think I'd rather see a classic film like Men in Black. What do you think?
That sounds good. I've always wanted to see that one.
Excellent. Thank you so much, girls. So, in our communication activator, we can use different genres. We can also say, I don't know, hi Liz, how about a movie tonight? That works for me. What are you in the mood for? No? In the mood for means like, no sé, ¿qué te gustaría ver? ¿No? ¿Qué te gustaría ver? Mood significa otra cosa de manera literal, pero en aquí, ¿qué te gustaría ver? A good love history, ¿no? Una buena historia de amor o alguna película de romance. No offense. But I can't stand love histories. I think I'd rather see a classic film like Men in Black. What do you think? ¿No? El I rather can stand. Can stand es de que no le gusta, ¿no? Cuando algo no te gusta, o bien te aburres, te duermes, así que something like that. That sounds good. Eso suena bien. I've always wanted to see that one. So give me a second. Taking points. This is also for your writing part. Karen, please.
Miss, I'm sorry, but what does it mean that works for me?
Oh, that works for me. It doesn't have, I think, literal translation. Es como si dijéramos, por ejemplo, a ver, en contexto. Suponte que yo te invito a ti, Karen. Karen, podemos ir el lunes a las 5 de la tarde a tomar un té, así, ¿no? Y casualmente tú terminas tu trabajo 4:30. Y sí, 5 de la tarde tienes libre. Significa que en este caso tienes el tiempo libre. Así que that works for me. Es como si que sí, si te conviene o que sí se puede hacer tal cosa. ¿Por qué? Porque tú tienes tiempo libre y justo se ha dado la coincidencia de que otra persona te está invitando a hacer algo en ese tiempo libre. ¿So? Eso es lo que más o menos tiene el significado. Tiene muchas traducciones esta partecita, sí, pero es mejor mantenerlo con el significado de conector que da. ¿Ya? That works for me. ¿Ok? Es como que eso está bien para mí, eso funciona bien para mí, algo así, something like that. Su traducción es muy diferente dentro de lo que es el español. No sé si se entendió, Karen, no te he hecho revolotear peor.
Sí, está bien,
Yes?
gracias.
Okay. Anyways, I will send to you different expressions for this. I think there are in English other ones in which we can see it in the context. All right? So here it says we have our communicator activator. I think it's all right. It's almost time. Next class, we are going to continue. Give me a second where we are going to. Yes, until here. Give me a second. I will only screen my screenshot. Okay. All right. So until here we are going to talk about. Hasta aquí vamos a avanzar. Les tengo que explicar algo importante. Give me a second. Denme un ratito, un ratito. Please. Okay, now yes. Les voy a decir esto en español, de todos modos. Las anteriores semanas, meses, había algunos de estos forms quienes ya hayan estado con la beca desde anteriores, creo que ya saben qué es esto, ¿no? De todos modos, les voy a volver a mencionar algunos. Estos son pequeños repasos que se tiene de cada unidad. Esto en modo de que se fuercen los conocimientos. Como tal, esto vale puntaje. Vale parte de puntaje como participación, de asistencia también, porque eso nos ayuda a nosotros verificar de que ustedes están en clases, están atendiendo y lo que nos requieren y nos informaron recién es que ustedes tienen que llenar todos estos. Miren, esto es como un examen simulacro por una unidad. Por ejemplo, este es de la unidad 2. A ver, un minutito. Les voy a seleccionar unidad 1, por ejemplo. Unit 1. Ustedes marcan su cuenta Gmail y en ahí, Section 1, Listening. Las anteriores revisé y no tenían su listening, así que estaban con esas configuraciones, ¿ya? Así que esto ustedes tienen que llenar. Además que les va a servir bastante para repasar, recordar algunas cosas y ver qué cositas hay que reforzar. Y también si tienen alguna duda y no se han entendido, decirme con anticipación antes de su primer examen. Ahora, en aquí, bien, tienen vocabulario, extrovert, introvert, vocabulary part, about, in, of, el gerundio, infinitivo, ¿qué más? An acquaintance, todo esto está en base al libro primera unidad, ¿ok? Así que ustedes lo que tienen que hacer es enviar, responder y enviar. Por ejemplo, en mi caso yo puedo decir, no sé, true, true, tengo que llenar todo, es muy larguito. ¿Ok? Pero anyways, cuando ustedes ya terminen de hacerlo, yo voy a crear tareitas en Classroom. Ustedes solo suben el documento que han llenado. Ya saben cómo descargarlo en PDF, ¿no ven? ¿Saben, chicos, chicas? ¿Sí o no?
Sí, teacher.
Descargarlo esto a PDF.
Sí, a PDF.
No.
Ahora, si lo hacen en celular, ahí, si más no me equivoco, en aquí está permitido de que las respuestas se van a enviar a tu Gmail. A ver, vamos a hacer una prueba. Espero que no me
Sí,
registren ahorita.
sí, se mandan al Gmail.
Ok, y en el Gmail pueden ustedes descargarlo, ¿no ve? Como documento, si más no me equivoco.
Solo nos No, a mí solo me ha llegado las respuestas que yo he llenado, pero no sé cómo se podrá descargar el documento.
Okay, so, anyways, voy a tratar de averiguarlo porque ahorita voy a tardar en llenarlas y no les voy a soltar a su tiempo, tal vez tienen otras actividades. De todos modos, esto tienen que ir haciendo, ¿ya? Tienen que ir haciendo. Yo ya lo voy a subir de las primeras 3 unidades, así que ustedes pueden ir haciendo con calma unidad 1, unidad 2. La tarea va a estar habilitada ¿hasta cuándo? Pues hasta la fecha del examen, ¿ok? Solo vayan subiendo. Así que es que el grupo de Goldmaster ha trabajado para hacer esto, para que a ustedes les ayude bastante a entender cada unidad también y vean y se vayan adecuando a cómo son las evaluaciones que Goldmaster les va a dar en los exámenes y ustedes puedan tener el rendimiento académico que se les exige, ¿no? Que en este caso mayor a 75 puntos. Así que de aprobación y ustedes pueden llegar con esa meta. ¿Qué más? La tarea prácticamente va a estar habilitada hasta el primer día de examen, hasta el primer examen que vamos a tener junio, sí, en junio, que les sugiero que vayan haciéndolo con calma, ¿ya? Ahora voy a hacer la prueba. Si se puede descargar desde su Gmail en PDF, lo pueden subir en PDF. Y si no, pues un screenshot de la primera página con su nota, si fuera el caso. Así que, chicos y chicas, no sé si se logró entender.
No hay que llenarlo, Miss, y hay que subirlo a dónde, porque si ya se envía, ¿no? Directamente o esa parte no le estoy.
Ah, ya. Es que esto se envía, pero como pueden ver, yo no tengo, esto hacen todos los que están pasando el nivel intermedio. Así que yo no puedo editar, yo no veo sus notas. Así que a nosotros nos dijeron que esto, llénenlo. Lo llenan, lo envían, mejor le sacan un screenshot porque me dijeron que ya les pasan con su retribución, con su retroalimentación, perdón, y su nota. Le sacan un screenshot. Les va a enviar también en el correo. Eso yo voy a verificar en un instante si es que se puede descargar en PDF. Si se puede, lo van a subir ¿dónde? En el Classroom yo voy a asignar las tareitas, ¿ya? Y en ahí van a subir si fuera el screenshot o si fuera el PDF. Nada más. Esto no tienen que hacerlo imprimir, esto no tienen que copiarlo en el portafolio, nada de eso. Esto es solo como un repaso. Pero nos exigen a nosotros también que se sube el screenshot para ver que se está haciendo el uso del material, porque un grupo es el que ha trabajado en hacer todo este material para que así ustedes puedan practicar, ¿ya? No sé si ahora está mejor, si se entendió.
¿Cuántas unidades tenemos que hacer en total?
En este caso, como ya hemos pasado unidad 1 y 2, pues los dos tienen que hacerlo, ¿ok? Eso por el momento, ¿ya? ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? ¿Cuándo era el primer examen? No es cuándo era, ¿cuándo va a ser? Recién va a ser. Give me a second. Tenemos 5 clases más. 5. Ay, thank you so much, Cecilia. 5 de julio. Save the date. ¿Ok? Pónganlo en su calendario. 5 de julio. No hay permisos para ese día. Para ese día no tengo cámara. Traten de entrar con su celular. Cuando entramos por el auto, tal vez por el tamaño de la pantalla, pero en el examen no, van a tener igual un form similar a este, ¿ok? What else I have to tell to you before it's time? Oh my goodness. Yes, we also have rating tasks escritos, ¿ya? Pero yo les estoy haciendo, esto traté de explicar. De todos modos, esto yo creo que la siguiente clase les voy a explicar. Porque nosotros así nos dijeron todo y yo, bueno. No les quiero cargar tampoco de mucha tarea, pero de todas maneras, igual va a haber habilitado un writing para que ustedes estén en constante práctica. El writing en que consta, que en este caso, aquí tiene, write a paragraph about a good friend or a soulmate, lo que hemos visto, relationship. Write at least 6 sentences. Use parallel structure when appropriate. Include information about. Pueden hablar de una persona, no sé, su mejor amiga. Pueden decir, who is this person? What kind of friend? No tienen que responder todas las preguntas, solamente las que les ayuden. Como les menciono aquí, solo 6 oraciones. Mínimo 6 oraciones. De esto tampoco sé cómo nos los van a guiar, pero yo voy a explicar, voy a tratar de decirles cómo puedo obtener las respuestas para que yo pueda darles su retroalimentación, ¿ok? Para el momento, solo 2 unidades, 1 y 2. La siguiente, yo creo que ya vamos a culminar Unit 3, así que van a ser la correspondiente. De todos modos, yo les voy a dar el tiempo suficiente. Como les mencionaba, de las primeras unidades hasta el 5 no estaban los audios, así que les hemos comunicado, ¿no? Que no había los audios, así que, bueno, cositas que fallan, ¿no? So, that will be your homework. In this case, you won't have homework like for your portfolio, only your words, sus palabritas que tienen que estar haciendo. ¿Qué más? Yes, only that. Give me a second. I know. I would take a screenshot and then I would call the list for the ones who were late. Give me a second, so please turn on your cameras and smile. Thank you, Crystal. Yes, perfect. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your participation and for being in classes. That is important. Now I will call the list for... I have all of you. Okay, so now you are free. Ahora son libres. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. See you next Saturday.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, teacher.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you.
Yeah, teacher.